Welcome to this production of the use of technology for literacy development. This production is a 3-episode series. Episode 1 is why and how technology helps with literacy development. This is where we talk about specific skills and studies that involve the use of technology in classrooms and how it has influenced literacy development. Episode 2 is what makes a good app for literacy development. Here's where we dive in and explore different features of apps that can determine what is best for students to use. Lastly, Episode 3 is trending concerns or topics with technology and literacy development, and we discuss any concerns or issues of technology in classrooms. Now we'd like you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the cinematic masterpiece we call the use of technology for literacy development. In a study done by the International Journal of Education in Mathematics, Science, and Technology, research was conducted in 2 preschool classrooms at Independence Preschool, a nonprofit private preschool located in a small suburban community in the Midwest. Teachers were given 6 iPads to use as instructional tools. The apps were introduced bi-weekly and seemed viable to meet the teachers' learning goals for development and learning as defined by the creative curriculum that was used in the school. During the 7 weeks, apps that allowed for writing and speaking, encouraging listening and print awareness, and additional apps for writing, speaking, and listening were used. A specific example from the study was done of a small group work when the children searched the classroom for words they knew and used the Magnetic ABCs app to work together to write the words using magnet letters. During iPad time, assistance from the teachers was limited to encourage independence among the students. The iPads were also used for one-on-one learning and for whole class instruction. For example, using the StoryKip app, the students were able to create digital books. The books often included photographs, audio, and writing. The iPads were also used occasionally as whole class teaching tools. They used the iPads during a gathering time where they would check the weather and they would record the findings onto a whole class chart for everyone to see and observe. The iPads allowed for digital and environmental print awareness. For example, when selecting an app, the students must press a square that has an image in print. This image in print serves as an entry point for a particular app, which serves a specific function. Children then became familiar with the image in print for each app, developing meaning for the on-screen representation. During emergent writing development, children were able to write using letters or symbols or create drawings using several apps. The Doodle Buddy and Drawing Pad apps were both frequently used by students to write messages using letters or drawings formed on the screen using their finger, type text using the keyboard, digital stickers or stamps, and photographs taken with the iPad. During the reading, writing, listening, and speaking results, the benefit of the iPad was that many apps connected reading, writing, listening, and speaking naturally within it. For example, there are apps that are able to highlight the words as students read out loud, which made the connection from mouth to print. Using the iPads, the students were able to create meaningful connections between the words they printed, the images they used, and the story the words and images represented by recording the story when they had written. The iPads also developed opportunities for social learning. Even children just asking, "What are you doing?" to one another sparked conversation, description, and understanding of what they were working on and allowed others to engage and try it too. In conclusion, the study done had found that iPads or other similar devices can be used in multiple ways to support the teaching of emergent literacy in an early childhood classroom.
The use of iPads is a great new way to introduce literacy development in early childhood classrooms. Various studies, like the one mentioned previously, have shown the benefits to using iPads and what it can do to enhance the young minds of today's classrooms. Certain apps on these devices target specific areas in literacy like comprehension, phonics, print awareness, and spelling. Multiple apps work on connecting 2 areas together. A lot of these apps connect the oral language aspect and print awareness, which helps to bridge that gap. For example, the StoryKit app the kids used has the children write or type out text, practicing concepts of print, while also providing audio, which aids in the matching of the sounds to the words. This is a new concept that cannot happen over pen and paper. If a child does not know a word, rather than skipping over that word and getting frustrated, the app tells the child what the word is, avoiding confusion and frustration, which can hinder literacy development. While growing up in an age of technology, this means that all children need to learn the sets of skills it takes to work around iPads. They must possess the knowledge of how to properly work these technologies in order to be able to learn and expand their growth. The traditional ways of learning that include pen and paper are still useful and productive, but technology offers way more opportunities. It opens up a whole new world of learning for these students, and it is the direction in which our future is headed, so it is imperative that kids today grow up learning how to use technology in their education. The National Association for the Education of Young Children, along with the Fred Rogers Center for Early Learning in Children's Media, came out with a joint statement position on the topic of technology in early childhood learning development. The position statement states that technology and interactive media are tools that can promote effective learning and development when they are used intentionally by early childhood educators within the framework of developmentally appropriate practice to support learning goals established for individual children. Meaning that the NAEYC supports the use of technology and other media tools for learning as long as they are used with a clear purpose and as long as educators have specific reasons as to why their children are using the technology.
In this episode, I will be talking about what makes a good app for literacy development. There are many factors that are included in this, such as the graphics and sounds of the app, the layout, or even something as little as if the app allows children to make mistakes. The use of tablets in early education environments have been increasing and advancing for many years. Because of this, it's important to know how to make the best use out of them. So what exactly makes a good app for literacy development? According to the National Association for the Education of Young Children, teachers should begin by researching features and types of apps to determine what will be best for their students. It's important to explore the whole app to make sure all of the activities are developmentally appropriate for each and every one of their students. Another factor that should be considered while choosing apps is looking at the feedback options. In certain apps, it tells children immediately whether their choice is correct or not. This is important to look at because apps that decrease the number of available answer choices may help motivate a child who is struggling. A few more general questions to ask when looking for a quality app would be, are there multiple levels so there's always a challenge? Are there multiple language options? Can the child control the sound or background music? Can you individualize the experience for a specific child? Although these questions may seem small or insignificant, they may make a big impact for a few specific students to keep them motivated while on the tablet. Not only is the app setup crucial when choosing apps, but also the way you have your students use them. To make sure they're using their time and resources effectively, they should be given either individual support time, practice with a peer, or extra time to explore for children with differing abilities or limited prior experience. You also want to promote social interaction by planning pairs or small group activities that lead to more communication, peer mentoring, collaboration, and problem solving. Choosing apps that can save and document students' learning will also be helpful for the teachers to track their students' progress and work over time. Basing the apps on specific learning goals, you want to choose an app that can track and record an individual child's activity. To take an even deeper look at how you can determine what makes a good app, I'll be explaining a study that was done by the NYU's Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development. The purpose of this study was to examine if a motivating app could help and support children's learning. More specifically, they wanted to focus on this app gap, which shows that low-income children do not have as much access to mobile devices as middle-class children. Recognizing that the preschool years are formative in developing children's use of media, the researchers designed a study to examine the effectiveness of an educational app called Learn with Homer on low-income preschoolers' school readiness skills. This study was done in 10 Head Start classrooms with a total of 148 preschoolers during a 10-week period. The children were randomly selected to use either Learn with Homer or an art and activity app. The preschoolers used these apps, guided by moderators, for 10 to 12 minutes daily. The results stated that the group using Learn with Homer app compared to the group using the art and activity app, the researchers not only found measurable growth in phonological awareness and understanding the connections between speech and printed letters, but they also were able to observe significant differences in print concepts. Given the importance of phonological awareness and how it contributes to school readiness, using digital resources in a highly controlled setting, like a classroom, may substantially help to close the app gap.
Welcome to episode 3, Trending Concerns and Topics with Technology and Literacy Development. Today we will be discussing how much screen time is the right amount for children, if technology in the classroom is truly effective, and what, if any, are some distractions for children using technology in the classroom. So how much is the right amount of screen time for children? According to multiple different articles, the right amount of screen time in a total day for elementary age students is 1 hour. Children in a total day should not be exceeding this 1 hour amount because of the health risks they have discovered. Childhood obesity has increased due to technology because kids are no longer running around and playing as much as they used to. Parents are giving their children technology for the wrong reasons, and this is giving people the idea that technology is bad altogether. Which brings us to if technology in classrooms is truly effective. According to a study created by Rebecca Acosta, because of the way our world is now and all of the use of technology, children need to learn these skills at an early age or else they will lack key skills and knowledge by the time they graduate high school. She takes a look at elementary classrooms in Central Texas and how these Title I classrooms use technology. Since these Title I classrooms lack the opportunities that other schools do with having technology in the classroom, these teachers at Title I schools are worried at how their students are going to fall behind. Being able to use technology is a skill that you need to have mastered now because of the amount of technology we use on a day-to-day basis. Rebecca interviews 11 different teachers to get their perspective on how they are trying to fix this problem and their opinions of technology in the classroom. One question that Rebecca asked these teachers was what their opinions on having technology in the classroom is. She describes that out of the 11 teachers she interviewed, they had an answer that stuck out to her. Since technology is such an important part of our future, teachers are really excited when their students learn something new or master a key part of technology that they were incorporating into their lesson plans. It is such a positive experience for both the teachers and students. Two teachers named Ruggiero and Mong stated the use of digital technology affects the atmosphere of the classroom and enables educators to restructure their lessons based on the students' needs. This is what education is all about. A lot of the teachers interviewed shared this fear when it comes to switching their routine. In the interview, it was said that when teachers examined 55 reasons why they were hesitant to initiate change, they found it was primarily because they were holding on to their old teaching style and thus keeping themselves from embracing technology integration. They also noticed that as they allowed technology integration into their classrooms, they became more of a facilitator in the classroom instead of standing at the front of the classroom lecturing to the students. At the end of the interview, the results were very clear. All teachers had a common response of how impactful the use of technology in the classroom has been for them. It is a big change, but a good change. The incorporation of technology in the classroom is a new way for students to learn and a new way to incorporate different skills into the classroom. As for distractions in the classroom, elementary age students don't have a problem with technology, but having academic-based apps for the students to play has actually helped them stay focused and making learning more enjoyable. All this information we have learned has showed us technology in the classroom has made a positive impact for teachers.